Okay, well, it's officially time. So I'd like to start. I'd like to introduce Dorothy, and then it's your turn. The goal here is for me to say as little as possible, so that we can get to hear all of your stories. So I'd like to just say, for all of those who have been coming to the our fall lecture series, thank you. It's been wonderful to have you. It's been wonderful to see this. I see a chat. I just want to. Will there be any walks at Muddy Kill Sanctuary? Oh, okay. So, here, tell you what. Let me get to that one in a second when I'm pulling up the Audubon webpage in a second. Great question. I'll get to that in just a minute. Um, and so I know I feel this, and actually this was just happening in the room where two people had introduced themselves and realized, that, oh, like we're online in different circles. And I've been stressing this throughout our series that like a lot of us, we're the like, these are your people, and we've seen people like we go on hikes together and very often like, oh, right, you were on that hike a year ago at this place and we saw this. And it's just neat to build the community. And so, thank you for all of those who have participated in that. And as I kind of introduce every session. If this is something that you like, you've got people. All right. So by all means, there's great organizations that have talks and walks and other events here. So for example, if you were to go to the Orange County Audubon Society and look for field trips, you certainly could. Now, this isn't the best time of year for that, and I'll get to that in a second. You can say, oh, there's a Christmas bird count coming up. Did I want to participate in that? And other ones. And then the Bashkill Area Association, the same thing. Obviously, in the summer we had done even some kayak trips. Some of this is going to be on hold in in winter. But obviously, you can keep checking these sites. The question on, excuse me, a Muddy Kill hike. I do want to do some more hikes in winter. The problem for me is I don't like to broadcast these well in advance because there are times in winter where it's mild and you still can park at various stations. And then there's times where if we've had 18 inches of snow and no one plows out the parking area, I don't want to say everyone, 20 people converge on this spot and there would be nowhere to park and everyone's, trying to drive around and frustrated. So at least for me in winter, I think it might be a little, shorter notice that it gets posted here and more of a pop-up based on the weather. As far as Muddy Kill goes, I would like to lead a hike at Muddy Kill twice a year. The problem with Muddy Kill coming up is if there's an interest, by all means, email me at walterjan@suny-orange.edu and we'll see what we could do. Because I do try to go there once a month to take pictures, so we could maybe swing something. But spring, it lives up to its name. It is muddy. And so, that's another thing on the OCAS calendar or on the website. There will be a number of trips which will not be listed as we're going to be at the Heritage Trail or we're going to be at the Bashkill. It's going to be we're just giving a walk. And the details will be clarified later, once again, based on weather. Like some places, if we get a really wet spring, we're not going to go, I'm not going to lead a hike at Muddy Kill for the general public because you'd be miserable. Your feet would be wet and cold. We would do that then in the autumn. So that was the answer to that question. We have a couple of things here if anyone is interested. We've got calendars for both the Bashkill and the Audubon. We'd love you to have them. It is the giving season, so if you have any friends who would appreciate it, by all means. They cost $8 to print, so if you'd like to leave a donation, that would be awesome. But otherwise, by all means, take it. I also printed out this, which is what will be posted, I'm sure, lots of places soon. But I would love to continue this Monday evening lecture series where you can attend in person. There is the Zoom link. And unlike, I think a lesson maybe I learned is Zoom wants you to change the Zoom links frequently, just so that you don't get bad actors who decide to like come in and disrupt this. So we had a separate Zoom for the spring series, the summer series, the fall series last year. But I think actually that generated some problems where people were using one link and not the other. So I think I'm going to experiment with for all of our lectures in the year 2026 using this one Zoom link, and then it being a Monday evening thing. This is here. I'm posting it, and I'll record this. If you're in the room, there's photocopies there if you'd like. If you would like a version of this, once again, my email is walterjan@sunyorange.edu. Send me an email and say, could you please send me the lecture series? I will, but I'm sure it will be posted soon. My last words before I introduce Dorothy and then some of you is that the purpose of this evening is, in this community, like we all have different experiences, and like, oh, I just saw this bird, or I love this trail, or whatever, and we should make more space to enrich each other and to hear each other's stories and learn from each other. I know for the Orange County Audubon newsletter, I invite everyone, and if you've never heard this invitation, then it's outstretched to you. If you have a story you'd like to share, send it to me, and usually by the 18th of the month, that's when we're wrapping up the draft of the next newsletter. We'd love to include your pictures, your stories, your sketches, your, whatever it may be. Once again, we'd like to make it, a community newsletter, and we'd love to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share, we would love to publicize it. What's going to happen after Dorothy speaks is, to the best of my ability, I'm going to coordinate your stories. So I know two of you have sent me pictures. So like I'll call those up, and you could, you can lead the talk, or if anyone at home would like to email me a pictures, I'll show something while you speak, or we could share a screen and you could do that. And then, so the rest of the evening we'll be listening to your stories. So I'd like to introduce Dorothy for just a second, but did anybody have any questions for me before I turn more into just a coordinating role?
We share a story from home.
Oh, sure. Tell you what, how about so Barbara, how about you go first after Dorothy? And then I know Nancy and Jim have things, and then we'll get to everybody. We'll just
Okay.
yeah, we'd love any story at all. So let's introduce Dorothy. And Dorothy, if you want to stand here, I just want to make sure that the camera is facing you. There you
Okay.
go. All right, so you're good to go.
Good evening. My name is Dorothy Sheff, and I'm the Cultural Affairs Coordinator here at Orange County Community College, both here and on the Newburgh campus. And one of my functions, aside from working hopefully with all of the departments, is to organize art and other types of exhibits. And it dawned on me that since we've had such an outpouring of people coming to Walter Jan's talks over the last year and a half, that we should focus on that. And we need to have perhaps an exhibit that shows climate change and our wildlife and what's happening to them because of the climate change, and also just the beauty of this region. So I invite you to get in touch with me. I do have one very simple email, and that's cultural@sunyorange.edu. And we'll be showing photographs, paintings, collages, sculptures. If you have any information or graphs on water, whether it be water that's in fine shape or polluted water or capacity, and let's see. At any rate, I will have something written and printed that I can send to you as well. And we will install this probably at this point by the middle of January, and it will be up for a couple of months. And during that period, hopefully, we will also have some talks and master classes regarding what we're looking at. So I'm certainly open to your ideas as well, but I think it's a good one to make us think and to enlarge our our understanding of the situation, plus those who are in fact interested in and want to learn more. So thank you very much, and let's proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I think we have 3 people lined up to start us off, and then after that, we'll just, however, and Barbara, did you want to talk, or did you have anything to show? You can email me something.
No, I just have a little story that happened to me this morning.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought it was unusual. People may not be interested in vultures, but they're very interesting birds. And where I was in Newburgh, they usually have a winter roost of the black vulture. Well,
Mhm.
today I saw that the TVs took over all the trees, chased the black vultures away, and they had to go on to a building, it looks like a warehouse or something. Well, when I counted them, there were over 40 vultures
Wow.
roosting. I never saw anything like it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I
That's a
said.
lot, especially in winter, because,
Yeah, yeah, it's
right?
usually just the black vultures, and maybe there's 10 or 12 of them. But to see what was going on, how the turkey vultures took over the roost in the trees, and the black vultures had to go on top of the roof.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, Nancy, I know you had sent me something. If you wanted to, did you want to go? Did you want to come?
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you
Should I
come
come
up?
up?
Sure. So if you wanted, you could go through your attachments at your speed. And let me,
If I can figure out how to do it.
oh yeah, I think you just like click on it and then click next and just, ah, give me a second. I just, oh, come on. Why doesn't, I just wanna, there we go. Here, could you just stand here? Just so you know, I'm going to take a second because my students never tell me. Sometimes like someone else like sits down, and so I'll give a lecture and the camera is just like pointed at my chest like the entire, like, and so like no one said, oh, by the way, like move to your face. So I just wanted to adjust the camera for each person. So, oh, no, I'm sorry, that's not the right one. I'm sorry. We were here somewhere. There we go.
Okay, thanks. So I think this was September. I know I wrote it down, but I was with a friend.
You can click on each one of them and
Yeah.
make them big.
Yeah. Oop. Oop. Okay. So actually I should have clicked on the other one first.
You can do the forward, you see the little arrow at the end? You can just like advance and go back and forth. See this one?
Oh, okay.
You can go back and forth to whichever image you want.
Okay, so we went to a sunflower maze in Sussex, New Jersey, near where my friend lives. And we walked through this really cool maze. I've been doing it for 15 years, the farmer and his whole family. And it's really cool. And at the very end, we were startled by a goldfinch who flew out from one of the sunflowers. And we took a closer look, and this is what we saw. There's a nest, and I don't know if I can make it bigger, but turns out it was a goldfinch sitting on 2 eggs. And I was shocked because I didn't know goldfinches would lay eggs that time of year. But there was a naturalist at the entrance who was sort of talking about various things that he was involved with. And he said, goldfinches and cedar waxwings have, they lay eggs really late in the season. They're the 2 latest. And sure enough, they were going to protect this. I don't know what the end story was, but
I didn't know that.
yeah, I never heard that. Yeah. So those are my pictures.
I've heard that that's because they eat seeds and they feed seeds to their young. I hope they're not insect eaters, like normal birds.
That
That makes sense.
I would certainly defer to you because I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Nat. That's a great story. Yeah, I didn't know that much. Okay. So I think the next person we have definitely lined up, and then it'll kind of be a free-for-all, or whoever would like to go, is former president and current board member of the Audubon Society, Jim Van Gelder. So if you'd like to come up, and you have these two emails are both from you. So if you wanted to click on either one of those,
Unless I forgot to hit the.
I'll check real quick. I think I only saw those two. There's a couple more.
Next batch, and I forget what the heading was.
Yeah, next batch we're town hall.
Entirely possible.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to hit the button and to.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let me forward this to me. No. And then it'll be the first three. Or now to come on. Send inbox. Okay, so I think these three are all you.
Okay.
You can
All right.
click on them at your.
Okay.
Let me just make sure
How do I
the
get?
camera's good.
Yeah.
So
Where am I?
I have no idea. This is like kind of finicky. Like sometimes it pops. There we go. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think
There
so.
I am.
Okay,
Right.
and so now we will.
I'll set it up for short people here.
And so then these three, you can click on any of the images. and
Okay.
Go back and forth.
All right. Hi, everybody. Yeah, Jim Van Gelder here. And I am a nature journaling nerd, and I never miss an opportunity to expound on that. So I have my journal here. And I just thought I'd show you a couple of things from it on the big screen. And just because things are getting more and more technologically driven these days, and this is a really good way to do something personal. And I think it's a great way to keep records and just enjoy yourself. So let's see if I got the right one here. Okay, here we go. This is observations of great blue heron at Liberty Marsh. And one of the misconceptions is that you need to have a lot of skill with art. I like to draw, so I do a lot of drawing. You can journal without any drawing at all. You know, you can do a verbal journal, and you can also just do more of a diagram. These are just simple line drawings. And this was what this great blue heron was doing. It was taking a long time to try and kill off what I presume was a bullhead. Maybe about 10 inches or so long. A little bit big for him to handle. He kept stabbing it in the same spot over and over again, and then trying to swallow it. I wasn't able to stick around long enough to see if he finally swallowed it, but I imagine he probably did. So let's see, how do I get back? Exit? Okay.
Yep.
X to exit. Okay, and then let's see. This getting away from me and back to the Audubon, this was taken on a hike that we did with the Warwick Area Farm Workers Organization, WAFO, and the particular section of that is called Dulce Esperanza. I'm not quite sure why or what that means, but what they do is they take out, pardon? Oh, you know how.
Sweet Hope.
Sweet Hope, okay. And it is set up for the children of the farm workers, mostly the migrant children, although sometimes there's some kids who are just obviously from the farmers themselves. It's probably the thing that we at the Audubon do that I think is one of the most worthwhile, besides maintaining the sanctuaries. The kids really enjoy it, especially the younger ones, and it's just an all-around good thing. So we did a short walk at Liberty Loop, and this is a monarch caterpillar, trying to give the kids a little intro to monarch ecology. I'm not sure if any of it sticks, but at least they are introduced to it. And this, I know Walt probably hates that I put this picture in, but here is Walt in the fur doing his thing with these kids. And I think it was pretty hot that day, but a good time was had by all. These are the younger ones. And this little girl ended up with a dead, oh, wrong way, dead cicada, which she was obviously very proud of. So not one of the kids who's fussy about handling nature. And let's see, just got a couple of photos here.
I think
Pardon?
next batch was the
Yeah, okay. Going the wrong way, as usual.
next batch.
No, this is a couple more. These are the last ones. Okay. I put this picture in. I took this at Liberty Loop this summer. This is a solitary sandpiper. And I'm not the best diagnostic picture of a solitary sandpiper either, but it's the one that's the least blurry. But the thing I wanted to mention about it is that solitary sandpipers tend to be a little bit off from other sandpipers in that they will go to places where sandpipers might not normally go, or a little bit off the beaten path. So I did have some pictures from Norman Brook from years back. I'll try and find them for another time. But sometimes the Norman Brook Audubon Sanctuary, the pond dries up completely. And there's been a couple of times when I've been there when there's a solitary sandpiper or two just, wandering around there. They'll take over any little open patch of mud or water. And I just kind of threw this picture in. This is from spring of 2 years ago, but I thought it was a really nice picture of a red-headed woodpecker. This was taken at Croton Point Park. And this guy was there. He was trying to move into this tree hole. I don't think he nested there successfully. And I think he kind of disappeared shortly thereafter. But anyway, that was it. If there's any questions, yes. Oh, okay. This is not much of a camera. It's a Canon, I think it's an SX something 70. It's just a point and shoot. It's nothing fancy, but they have this image stabilizing technology, which and a pretty good zoom lens. So you go from the optical zoom, and then there's the digital zoom. The digital zoom is really kind of worthless for taking pictures because you can always put the pictures on your computer at home and expand them digitally that way. So, okay, if that's it, we'll move along.
Thank you. Whenever I have a question about a bird, like I take a picture and I'm like, it's between this one and this one. And I think it's this one. Jim is one of two people that I send the picture to, so he's a wonderful bird expert. So I see that Connor has sent us something. Connor, would you like to come up? So we were on a hike at Bear Mountain not that long ago, and we were coming around Hessian Lake, and we saw what all of us thought were painted turtles. Connor was the one who pointed out, no, they weren't. They were sliders. So here we have an expert. So we brought an expert on reptiles here. So either sit or stand, however you want to do, and I'll get. I'm sorry, this is a little finicky. I'll just make sure the camera is at a good angle. Come on. Oh, why are you doing it that way? Oh, here we go. There we go. So we'll click on one and then you can go back and forth with that arrow and there'll be another one.
So this is my painted turtle. He is the eastern species. As you can tell, the eastern have a more yellow belly, but the other species have like a lot more pattern bellies. But he is about a year old now. I think I got him last September 2nd. But the cool thing about them is that they can really extend. So if you see in this photo, if I go to the next, they extend their necks very a lot, and they can do it so that they can get their food, and it's like a very powerful bite. If you see an alligator snapper turtle, they can really put back a bite. And yeah, and earlier this morning as well, I had we were just before I left for school, my feeder, we saw a shiny black raven, and he was stealing all the blackbird seed. That's another bird story. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They are the largest songbirds in the world.
Oh, and
Songbirds.
if anyone can see this little gray part, they as they get older, they will start shedding their scutes, which is like individual plating, so it's not like one whole big shell. He was starting to do it, and that's one of them being shedded. They will do the same for their underbelly a bit. And yeah, oh, in the juveniles, the way I was able, he's a male, and you can tell by the longer tails, you can see a bit right there, and the longer claws that they're males. Females are much larger and shorter claws and shorter tails. Anyone have any questions? Yes.
How long do you think this would live? How many years?
Either 40 or 50. Others last a lot longer. In the wild, probably 30. But yeah.
Where are you feeding it?
I feed in this photo, I was feeding him as like little treats. I usually feed him protein pellets. He loves shrimp. They're omnivores, so they'll eat plants. Like I put lettuce every once in a while in there. He loves strawberries. Not really a blueberry fan. And turtles supposedly love watermelon. Haven't tried that yet. I did put crickets in there once, and he loved them. Yeah. And we have fish in the water of the tank, and he'll go. Yeah, it's kind of like an ecosystem there. Like they'll pick up all the stuff, and then he'll eat them. It's fun. Any others? Okay.
Thank you.
Well, we need naturalists in the future, so it's great to see that, we're well on the way to the experts that we need. Let me just a little bit. If anyone had a story, and the story doesn't have to have a picture, you can come up here and talk. You could speak online if you wanted. If anyone wanted to email me a picture. If you're thinking, one thing I did forget earlier is if anyone wanted to be added to the email list of either Orange County Audubon or the Baskerville Area Association, obviously you could go to their websites and request it, but you could also just, either if you're in the room, write your name down on the list there, and I'll get your names to where they need to go. Or you can email me, once again, walterjan@sunyorange.edu, if you said, oh, I'd love to get the newsletter, I'd love to get updates. Is there anyone who has a story that they'd like to share? One of the things it took me years to learn this, that winter's a really good time for birding. You'll just see different birds. I was at the Bashakill this weekend, Sunday, I think, and I saw my first winter wren of the year. So there's different wrens that we have. We have some wrens that live here only in summer, but then they go south. Winter wrens are only here in the winter. They breed in Canada. So it was exciting. That was the first time I've seen one since last winter. And I saw yellow-bellied sapsucker. So it was a nice day at the Baskerville. Anybody else with vacation stories from your bird feeder? Anything? Yeah. So forgive me if you are in the room. I just know from experience, people at home can't hear you if you're at your seat. So I'll just ask you to come up. Oh, cool. We have another story or two from Colin. Very good.
So it was this fall. If everyone's familiar with robins, we had one nest underneath our deck, and we set up a little camera. I was able to watch them build the nest, lay it, and I was also able to. This was actually the second year that robins had nested, and I was able to see them. I was able to also see how the hatchlings grew up. My dad actually drew a little thing about it, and that's one thing. And they were really cute to watch, and they had an annoying habit of when I would go out on the deck and start squeaking, thinking I was their mom asking for food. It was funny. The next thing is what was it, Dad? Yeah, what was the woodpecker? Red-bellied woodpecker. He comes every now and then to the feeder, a bit larger than blue jay. Usually scares them away, actually. And there's a dead tree that he sometimes goes to. He always robs us of. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, he lives in a dead tree, has a little hollowed out hole. He does rob us of peanuts, kind of annoying. And he doesn't put them in his nest. I think he's hiding them for like storage. But since we always put food there, he's just gonna have an unlimited supply, and I don't think he knows that. And we also put a bunch of stuff on the feeder, so yeah, that's it.
Okay. Is there anyone else at home who has a story that you'd like to share? Anyone in the room like to come up? Sure, by all means. And then I think Nancy had her hand.
Hi, this is really quick, but I was coming down my 675-foot driveway, and as you approach the road, there is a 90-degree turn, and I saw a big chested cardinal and his mate with him. And then as I was about to turn in front of him, I must have spooked him because it's a big car, and they flew away. So, but it was a thrill to see these birds, and because it's so stark now, there's no color, and to see this red boy was wonderful. So that's my treat.
Thank you. Nancy, did you have something?
Yeah, I was looking for a photograph, but they can't see it there.
Did you send it or was it for you?
I was looking for it, but ran out of time.
Okay.
I have a concrete urn right by my front door, and I also have a pond liner for like a half whiskey barrel, and they're both filled with water. They were supposed to get planted, but I never put plants in them. And a frog moved in, and I followed this frog all summer, and I don't know how.
Is this the one you sent me?
Yeah.
Do you want to give me 30
yeah,
seconds?
did I send it?
Yeah. Forgive me if we're going to look for pictures.
No, a frog just showed up. I've also had beetles and
Okay.
water striders show up in other places, but
Nope, sorry. We'll get there. We will. I swear we're there. We're almost there. Okay, yeah, so we're here. Yeah, so there's those and the salamanders.
Yes.
So
okay.
you do you.
Oh, I forgot about the salamanders. So I have the urn, it's a concrete urn, and I have this pond liner, and they're about 3 feet apart from each other. And I started to notice that the frog, I thought had left, but it just moved to the other body of water, and it did that all summer long. And I went away in October, beginning of October, and I'm not sure when these are from, but yeah, so I'd sit on my porch and I see this frog. She kind of became a pet frog, and it just started getting colder and colder. And I thought when I went away in October that the frog would be, I didn't see it. And it reappeared, and it would be really, really cold, not icy, but just getting there. And there was a frog just kind of floating on the surface. And I debated with myself whether or not I should do anything to try and protect this frog. And I just decided to let it. It also moved to another, I had a plastic bucket that got rainwater in it. It moved to there. So I saw it moving around the property. There is a big pond, but it's kind of far away. So I don't know what happened. Both of the urns, everything is frozen over now. Maybe it went to the bottom and is wintering over, but I don't know. I'm going to kind of keep my eye out in the spring and see what happens. But I didn't dump anything, so. Oh, and then there's the other ones.
So the question, just so people can hear me at home.
I don't know where the other salamanders are.
So a question, just so that you can hear. I can see you. There you go. Was can frogs freeze solid? Some of them can. So wood frogs, great at that. They live at the Arctic Circle. And you know what? Like I'm scared to do this. It goes against, but I'd like someday I think I'm just going to do it. So I stop giving this like annoying little spiel before each time. Is you could take a wood frog, put it in the freezer, freeze it solid, and take it out, and it unthaws. All right. So like everyone swears you can do it. I've just never done it, but I should, it comes up in conversation enough that I should probably just do it and stop sounding stupid. Wood frogs do, spring peepers do, and one other one. And gray tree frogs. So they could just be in a bunch of leaves, and it like some of them freeze solid, some of their liquids, but they make antifreeze proteins. But that doesn't apply to all frogs. So like green frogs, like the one we just saw, bullfrogs, pickerel frogs, they're going to be at the bottom of water, like of lakes or streams this year. So they can't freeze solid. And here's your salamander.
So this, I'm not sure when I saw this, but it was already starting to get cold. And I'm a gardener by profession. And I was at a client's house. That same client's house, I saw a fox in a very residential area. So that was really cool. But I didn't say anything to anybody. Yeah, just they have a couple of big dogs. So I don't think that they were concerned, but other people might be because it's kind of an upscale neighborhood. But while I was there, we were putting away pots and planted pots. And I picked up one of the pots and I found these guys. And they were pretty sluggish. It was cold. But I also knew the leaf guys were going to come in and blow the leaves away. And I didn't want them getting blown away. So I just kind of picked them up and moved them to the back of some large trees that nobody was going to go to. So that's kind of it.
One cool thing about salamanders, and specifically this species called the redback salamander, it is commonly known, there's a lot of studies, that if you were to say, all right, let me take an acre of land and weigh the vertebrates. I'm going to weigh the birds. I'm going to weigh the mammals. If you weigh the salamanders outweigh them. Like when we think of what's a dominant vertebrate in an area, we often don't think about the salamanders. But they're underground, they're coming out at night. There's a lot more than we think there are. And very often, just this species, the redback salamander, outweighs the birds and the mammals in the area. So just so you know, like if you want to understand wildlife, like we're often missing, some of the biggest components. So it's a great picture. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else?
These are the lungless guys too, right?
Yes. So there are three families of salamanders, three groups. There's the fat ones, the big ambystoma, like the spotted salamanders and the marbles. Then there's the newts, like the red Fs and the other newt. But then all of the other salamanders in our area, that's most of them, they belong to a family called Plethodontidae, and they have no lungs. Now, I'm going to say something that sounds critical. I don't mean it to be. Salamander lungs, they're not good, like at all. Frogs, they're not great either. That's why their skin is so moist. They're doing a lot of their breathing through their skin. Well, apparently this family of salamander, this is the majority of species of salamanders in New York State, they just said, you know what? Let's just give up on the lungs thing. They're not working well anyway. Let's just do all of our breathing through the skin. So the plethodontid salamanders, the skinny ones, they are, as Jim pointed out, the lungless salamanders. Anybody else in the room or at home would like to go?
I was just thinking that those I found kind of late in the season, but frogs, even later, it was really cold and I saw frogs crossing the road.
Oh,
Because we did the
yeah, yeah.
helping them across, had to be October and very cold. And I was surprised to see them crossing the road.
If you can't hear at home, and I know sometimes you can't, conversations in the room, Nancy was just saying that in October she was still seeing frogs crossing the road and it was getting cold. Anyone at home? Anyone in the room with a story to tell? Okay. If anyone wants to check the field trips at Audubon, we do in January. We have a Christmas bird count coming up this month on the 21st. We will have a trip to the Liberty Loop, hopefully to see short-eared owls in January. We may have multiple trips there. Once again, I would like to lead trips in January because classes aren't in session and I'm free. I just hate to say, hey, everyone, we're meeting at this parking lot. Because if later it turns out 2 days before there's a snowstorm and we can't go because it's not plowed, you I don't know who's interested in coming and I can't reach out to you and I don't want you to have a frustrating experience. So if you wanted to keep checking the Audubon field trips, there may be more. If anyone would like a calendar, obviously they're here in this room. I'll bring them with whatever hikes I give on, but there are also some at the OCAS office in Warwick, New York. So if you wanted to contact them at the website here, I'm sure we could arrange a time where you could pick some up, not only for you, but once again, everyone on your guest list, I'm sure would think you were the best gift giver if you gave them an OCAS or a Bashakil calendar. So we could break into more informal conversations unless anyone else had a last minute inspiration and there was something that you wanted to share with the group. Okay, so we have Dorothy and then Connor. Yes, Dorothy?
Only that you had asked if anybody wanted to be on a mailing list for the newsletter, if they're interested in being on the email list for cultural affairs, they send that information to the same address as I said before, which is cultural@sunyorange.edu.
So cultural@sunyorange.edu is also a place you could reach out to get put on a mailing list of all the great events that Dorothy puts together. Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank
you. Did anyone want to go at home? Connor, if you wanted to come up and we'll get you set up in the meantime. Okay. If you were doing it with sad facts, yeah, we'd have to maybe cut you short, but fun facts, sure.
If anyone is familiar with the woodland turtle, if not, then listen. Woodland turtles are a semi-aquatic species of turtles. They have a very unique ability. I believe worms they go up because they sense the vibrations from the raindrops. The woodland turtle creates that by stomping its feet on the ground, and worms think it's rain and get tricked into becoming lunch.
Smart turtle.
Wood turtles or woodland turtles?
Woodland turtles.
Oh, not the wood. I've only heard wood turtles.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's woodland or wood turtles.
The ones around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wood turtles.
Wood turtle. Okay.
Yeah, wood turtles.
They are in the woodland, but they're just called the wood turtle.
Yeah.
I have a question for Connie. It sounds like you know an awful lot about turtles.
Well, as soon as I got one, I did as much research as I can, and I've watched so much TNMNT. I have
a question about snapping turtles. You know a lot about snapping turtles?
A bit, yeah.
So I just thought of this as you were talking about that. On the radio, I heard that it's not possible for, like, I've always hesitated to swim in lakes because you can't help but think about the snapping turtles. But I heard on the radio that snapping turtles actually can't bite you if they're underwater. Do you know if that's true?
Oh, Yeah, it's
I don't know if any-
well, okay, so maybe the regular snapping turtle would bite you, but most if you're swimming,
Oh, somebody has.
who's that?
Go ahead, go ahead. If someone wanted to say something at home, feel free. Okay, I hope the snapping turtle didn't get
You
you.
could say it how your turtle he has to eat underwater. He can't eat.
Oh yeah, actually, some species of turtles mine, they can't move their tongue. They eat underwater. They can't. They
Get that backwards.
no. They can't eat their. They can't. They can't move their tongues out of water. They need to be in water, so they can't chew or no, not chew. Swallow out of water. What was your
Oh, I'm sorry.
What was your question about snapping turtles again?
That was it.
So I heard, actually, a snapping turtle cannot bite you when the snapping turtle is underwater. It has to be in, in
Yeah,
the
that's not true.
You don't think that's.
I don't think that's true.
air.
Okay, I do know one thing. Alligator.
But on that, I've seen them take down an egret and eating it in the water, so.
Yeah, you should take a look and
The egret underwater.
Well, the turtle is underwater holding the egret. Or egret's trying to.
You don't think, okay, so you don't think it got in the air?
hey, you should see the scar on the side of my dog's face.
Really?
Oh, I thought it was his face.
He got hit by.
Yeah.
Big scar.
Wow.
We live next to the wetlands.
Uh-huh.
When we first moved in,
Turtle bit your dog?
Yes.
It was.
What kind of turtle?
Snapping turtle.
Oh, a snapping
Yeah, I'm
turtle.
just going to repeat from the back of them because you may not hear. So apparently, shortly after they moved next to a wetland, snapping turtle bit the dog, and there's a big scar on the leg. Did you want to add to it?
He needed a wheelbarrow and 2 snow shovels.
Oh, the snapping turtle.
That's how big it was.
Wow.
In the wheelbarrow, it was still snapping.
Wow. They needed 2 shovels and a wheelbarrow to remove the snapping turtle. And while in the wheelbarrow, it was still snapping at them. Wow, that's a story.
Another thing about alligator snapping turtles, they won't just charge after the random thing. They actually have a real sneaky way to do it. They will open their mouths and make them look like a rock, but they'll move their tongue to make it. They have a thing on their tongue that looks like a worm. They'll trick the fish to come in close, and then fish is lunch. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Connor. Those were fun. I remember once I was snorkeling in a lake that had a whole lot of algae. So I'd take a gulp and I'd go through these reeds. And there was a snapping turtle coming the other way doing the exact same thing. And all of a sudden we were this close to each other. I don't know who was more scared or more startled, but I think we both were equally. And so we both went in opposite directions. And is there anyone else who has something they'd like to share?
I just looked through my photographs and maybe the last photograph I have of my resident frog was early November.
Oh, okay. So Nancy said the latest picture she had of her resident frog was early November.
So I get hopping around by my front, but I don't know where it wound up.
I'll just find out.
Anybody else? This might be the final call for stories that you'd like to share. Okay. Well, I think we might break, and then if there's informal conversation that goes on in the room, wonderful. For everyone, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope you have, wonderful outings, looking at the beautiful winter scenery and, whatever birds and other wildlife you can see in winter. So best wishes, everyone. And we will start towards the end of January with a spring series. So hopefully we'll see some of you there. And if that turns out where your schedule is different, remember that we do record all of these and put them in a playlist. So if anyone's ever interested.
You can tell that the schedule will be in the Canvas newspaper.
And so the schedule events will also be in the Canvas newspaper. That we're taking out an ad with the full schedule. And once again, if anyone were to email either me or Dorothy, I'm sure we'd be happy to send it to you. Good night, everybody. Thank you so very much for joining.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye. And thanks for all the great stories.
Yeah, how are you?
Okay.
I'm so glad that you let talk about that's just a
Oh,
really
yeah,
cool thing.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of, I feel like, nag on it, but
Mhm.
I don't want to start getting down on Merlin and, you know.
So not that there's competition in your household,
Oh.
not when you have like multiple published individuals on, you've got.
Well, now we're gonna try to
Reported-
get them.
Okay,
He's gonna get you a turtle thing.
okay, good. Thank you.
That'd be all right to put in the.
Of course,
All right,
no,
cool.
they get the hat trick in the roundup, sure.
Yeah, that was a nice, the bit about the hawk and the blue jay. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure to share that, but it's nature.
It's nature.
But
Oh, I didn't hear that. What happened?
he actually,
Oh,
I saw videos on here, but we were just hanging out.
I'm just going to sign up. There's conversations going in the background. And I know you can't hear it very well. So good night, everybody.